Alright, we're back with Okami. Last time, we did stuff, and now we're gonna do plot stuff. This Game of Glory, I've returned! Evan, Hayley, say hi.
Wait, what was that?
What was what, dude?
That sign there.
I don't know. I think it says the Agata Forest, which is our next area that we're gonna go to. And this is what we need. This is actually where you need the lily pad, and this is where you need cherry bomb. Because without those two powers, you're not gonna get anywhere.
You'll just flail aimlessly.
Yep. And you know Ami can't swim for very long, so... Yeah.
You goofed up.
It is very, very possible to get through this place with only one lily pad, but...
You didn't.
I don't know how.
Not if you're Josh.
Not if you're me, who sucks at this game. Anyway, here we have Cherry Bomb. What's interesting about Cherry Bomb is that when it comes in contact with something that you can attack it with, it explodes immediately. Which is pretty good. So anyway...
Yeah, otherwise it would be pretty bad for combat.
Anyway, Agata Forest. Yeah, even though we have still have shit water.
Reminds me of Mario Sunshine.
Yeah. Except we have to... Can you wash an entire ocean?
With what, itself?
You could, actually.
That's called dilution.
You were supposed to in one of the levels.
Oh, really? And then the water just magically disappears after you get your shine.
That's not washing, that's eliminating.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to Agata Forest. It looks...
Sad.
Yeah, it's pretty dreary, actually. I mean, this curse zone is pretty... I think the curse zone is, at this point, at its most deadliest, because... Okay, so I'm going to mention this here. You can notice that there are some powers that have foreshadows. You saw a rock that had a glowing halo. Well, a crystal rock, actually. You see burning chests over there, and you see a fountain that's roaring up and down in a pond. We will get to those later. Anyway, we will meet this old lady. Who cares about this old lady? Stray bead! Okay, anyway, this old lady. Meet Madame Fawn.
Fawn. Not orange, fawn.
No, Fawn. Fawn here is a fortune teller who reads bones. Well, bone reader, sorry. Because back in the day, people read bones for fortunes. And yeah, she if you pay her enough cash, she will pay... Well, she will give you hints for upcoming...
What's this? This bone says you're going to have a bad time.
What's this? This bone says that you wasted your money on me.
I'm sorry, who's the one guilty of all the Undertale jokes?
That was an essay too.
Okay, so pay her 500. You can get hints on basically where you're supposed to go. You will have to. You might get a little stuck, but it's mostly for no, you won't. No, you won't. Anyway, one save later. By the way, the burning chests have like a Japanese kanji floating above it, so yeah. This is one example of where you can get stuck, actually. Right over here. This little alcove right over there. This is how you're supposed to get to the Guardian Sapling. This has...
Really?
This first-time player...
thing?
Yes, this little thing. This has bothered me for very long. Because... Well, when I first played this game, of course. To go behind the waterfall, fixed camera, yada yada yada. Guardian Sapling's right in there after a cherry bomb. And yeah, that's about it.
The glowing crevice didn't give you a hint.
No, it did not. Anyway, here's our Guardian Sapling inside of a cave. How does it survive this long inside of a cave?
Magic?
I don't know.
Probably. I feel like, you know, most people say, well, because magic flippantly when they're talking about, like, video game realism. But in this game, that's a legitimate explanation.
Because godhood, that's how. Now fear our curse. You can
Fear
make
the power of Disney.
Disney.
You get feelings diabetes.
Look at all those kanji flying away. I think one of them says Evan's... I think one of them says, this game is awesome. Believe it. Because,
What does it say about Evan?
I don't know. Evan is awesome. I am awesome. You're awesome. Maybe. So, yeah, Agata Forest is actually one of my favorite places where you saw that explosion of nature. And it also gives you a chock full of praise. And yeah, that's about it. Anyway, at this moment, you can open this chest up and you'll get yourself a new weapon. It is known as the Rosary, or Devout Beads, basically. Evan should know this, but there are 3 weapons that Ami can use.
Why would I know this?
Because you play Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah, but I don't play as Ami.
Okay, well, Ami has...
I like how Isun felt that he had to remind you there's more to using a weapon than equipping it. Just gotta say that.
If you're asking about Zero, then heck yeah, I know about him.
Okay, so, basically you have 2 types of weapons now. Devout Beads and Reflectors. I will be using Reflectors for now. Devout Beads, when you use them as a main weapon, it'll do, like, multi-hits, but you won't flinch the enemy. However, you can also make it... But, however, on the ground, you have a very long range. On the air, you suck, basically. They also... Each weapon type has a use as a sub-weapon. For example, when you use a Reflector as a shield, you can reflect enemies and you'll get Demon Fangs. If you use a Rosary as a sub-weapon, you can fire bullets. Yeah, I know, that's pretty cool. You're going to need this information because there is a tough boss fight coming up. Something that you'll probably not be prepared for, actually. And, well, it's one of the best... It's actually one of my favorite characters, and possibly one of my most hated characters at the same time.
That's an interesting contrast. I'm curious now.
It's like he's... Okay, well, watch. I also do like the flute, though. It's really nice.
If anyone asks, yes, I'm still here. I just don't have much to say.
This guy is... kind of, actually. He summoned me forth to defeat evil. Boom. Hello. Waka, the god's gift to man, is here. Bonjour.
Wait, what? Bonjour?
Yes. Meet Waka, or his full name is Ushiwaka, which is basically in
face.
Yeah, in legend he was like the Robin Hood of Japanese mythology. So yeah.
Stole from the rich to feed the poor.
Yeah, basically. He's kind of like that because he believed in the Tao and basically all that. Waka in this game okay, firstly, he has enough faith to actually see Ami for who she really is. AKA, he sees the reflector and the red markings and all that. Also, he is Jesus. Yeah, it's like, ooh. Is that something I can piss on? And not only that, but he has a lightsaber.
I was gonna say, why is he trying to play his flute with his forehead?
Fun fact, this flute appears in Bayonetta as a weapon. It makes a cameo appearance, basically.
What? Wait, what's this about Bayonetta?
The weapon that he has.
Oh.
It will appear in Bayonetta, basically.
Oh.
As a cameo. So, yeah, Waka.
Boss fight.
Yeah, boss fight with this guy. He also says like bonjour mon ami. He speaks French, but in other languages he speaks English, which is pretty funny. Now, earful of my beloved sword. Behold, pillow talk. Yeah, like I said, this guy is a bit of a fruitcake.
He wants to fuck you in the ear, is what he's saying.
Okay, fun fact.
And he has a real sword.
This line, that's Rock Baby. That's a Devil May Cry line.
Ah.
He's even more lamer now.
Does he have a double trigger?
No, he doesn't. Okay.
Does he have an electric guitar that's literally electrical?
Well, he has a flute, which is basically the electric guitar. Okay, Waka. This guy has close combat attacks, but he will flow in the water, but he has a long-range attack by throwing his sword. If you're able to power slash that sword back at him, he will be vulnerable.
I thought he had 2.
No, like he throws he throws his other sword. And if he goes great, just power slash him, because that does a lot of damage.
Wonderful.
And he is dead.
You can stand on water. You can both stand on water?
No, I can't stand on water, but he can. It's been some this guy even sweats sparkles. That's not funny. So yeah. Basically, this guy will be a recurring character in this game. Well, that was pretty tactless, excusez-moi, baby. Okay, this is really weird. So, yeah, that's basically it. Basically, Waka does tell you some new plot points, but basically he tells you the same plot points over again. I think that's the...
Well, then again, we saw Orochi awaken, but they didn't.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting that he knows, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. He also seems to know Ami personally. Orochi was slain 100 years ago by Nagi and Shiranui, and its evil spirit was sealed away in the Moon Cave, which I guarded. However, I was in the middle of my coffee break, and somehow it got released. Oops. Oh, hello. Do you see that sleeping bear over there? That is a nice sleeping bear over there. So yeah, basically Waka's just telling us shit that we already know.
Well, we know, but Ami doesn't know, so you can kind of understand it.
Yeah, well, we technically knew, quote-unquote, because we kind of awoke him when things are afoot. So, and this is why. And Easton just comments that we already know. So yeah, that's about it. Yeah, well, I like Waka, yet I hate Waka. That's why I hate and love Waka. Do you now see why?
I get it now.
Yeah, he's annoying, but he can be pretty fun.
Ma chérie.
Ma chérie. So for some reason, Waka seems to know Ami personally, because you're not what you used to be, Amaterasu. You may have defeated Orochi long ago, but one cannot dwell on past glories.
Yes, we can.
Just give me time.
That's how we develop our egos.
God damn it, just give me more time. I need to find the other guys that I've lost. So yeah. He soon suspects that Waka was the one who pulled the sword out of the stone and released Orochi. Also, he prophesizes a lot. And let me tell you, prophecies are not wrong. We will encounter them later, though. Anyway, I must be off. The work of a prophet's never done. Also, he can fly.
With his hair.
Yeah, with his freaking hair. Come on, man. I wish I could fly.
Amy, you slept 100 years. You don't need to sleep more.
So yeah, I think at this point, I get my rating right about now.
Rating?
Yeah, that's my rating.
For what?
For the battle.
Oh.
I get 4,000 yen. That's good, right? Okay, so yeah, that's about it.
So what, did he just drop his wallet? You won't be needing this?
Half-baked profit my ass. Guy's been pilfering money. Alright, so anyway, we got a new type of chest. You have to bloom these things in order to get its contents with him. Other than that, that's about it in Agata Forest. There really is nothing else to do.
I'm not gonna say anything, but I pretty much know at this point who it is that did remove the seal. It's kind of obvious.
Yeah, I think that's the point. Yeah, I think that's the point, but... Alright, get its contents. I'm here to show everything. And I mean everything.
Amy's favorite snack.
There are demon gates, there are buried chests that I will have to get. And because we're going to spend like 3 to 4 parts in this place, including this one, so... Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. The plot point of this is basically... rescue some... Basically, you're searching for something. And Orochi's minions get you, and...
Steel. I thought that said steel fist snake. I was like, what?
Steel
Snakes don't have hands.
In this world, they do. And, yeah. Burst of nature. Okay, there is a bit of a side quest that involves ball pushing, though. And that kind of scares me, because of how ball pushing works. Other than that, that's about it. Oh, that is the end of the part, but next part I will explain about other things, so keep in touch. Evan, Hayley, say bye.
Bye.
Bye.